Okay, so are you ready to dive into this?
I am.
This is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So today we are looking at a motorcycle that's been generating a lot of buzz.
A lot of buzz.
Yeah, this is the Yamaha R15 V5.
Yeah.
And Yamaha is known for really kind of pushing things in this segment.
Absolutely.
Especially in that smaller sport bike segment. They're trying to make these premium bikes, but accessible to people that are just starting out.
Yeah, and they're doing a very good job of that. They're
not.
I mean, they're coming out with some very interesting models.
Absolutely.
And this one, we're talking about V5, but you look at the V4 and even the V3.
Mm-hmm.
They're excellent bikes.
Yeah, so we've got some stuff to go over here. We've got leaked specs and some first looks and all sorts of information and images and things like that to kind of unpack.
Yes.
But one of the coolest things that I saw right off the bat was that this is a 150cc bike with winglets.
Correct.
Like winglets on a 150cc bike.
Well, that's very MotoGP inspired.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
So they're bringing that.
And there's a MotoGP edition too, by the way.
There is, yeah.
So
it's going to be very cool to see.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that too. So let's just jump right into it.
Okay.
What do we know about the release and the price?
Okay, so the release, we don't have a specific date, but it's looking like it's going to be late 2025.
Okay.
The price is expected to be somewhere between 1.85 lakh and euro 2.05 lakh.
Yeah.
Next showroom, of course.
Yeah, that puts it right in there with the
right in the mix
with the competition.
Yeah.
So pricing strategy is a big thing.
Yes.
With any of these manufacturers.
It is.
So how do you think that this?
Well, I think that this particular strategy is very interesting because that price point is something that is definitely going to appeal to not only seasoned riders, but people who are looking to get into something a little bit more sporty than their commuter bike.
Yeah, like a step up.
A step up, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I think that price point is going to be very, very attractive to a wide range of riders.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So as far as the design goes, this is a really cool looking bike.
It is a cool looking bike.
It's got a really sharp look to it.
Yes.
They've really made it look aerodynamic.
They've really upgraded it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've upgraded it from previous models. And they've really taken some cues from their higher end bikes.
Yes.
And brought
like their racing bikes and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a very aggressive look to it.
So one of the things that I thought was really cool was the LED lighting.
Yes.
It's got full LED lighting, which is
yeah, that's pretty standard now.
Yeah.
I mean, even at the lower CC bikes, it's pretty much expected.
Yeah,
but
it's very well done.
But they've done it very well. They've integrated it very nicely into the design.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So back to those winglets.
Yes, the winglets.
I am very curious to find out.
Like you and me both.
You know how much they really affect the aerodynamics of this.
Well, and how much downforce do you actually get at those speeds, because this isn't
it's not a super high powered bike.
It's not a liter bike.
No.
So you're not going to be.
It's not going to be doing 200 miles an hour.
Exactly. You're not going to be doing 200 miles an hour. So how much downforce are you actually going to get from those winglets?
Yeah, I think it's more of a, it looks cool factor.
I think it's aesthetics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the aesthetic, but it does show that Yamaha is really paying attention to detail.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to that kind of sporty image, that they want to convey with this bike.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's get into the engine and performance of this thing.
Okay, so the engine, as I mentioned earlier, is the same 155cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled, but this time
that they've been using.
This time they've added VVA, variable valve actuation,
which is cool.
Which is very cool.
Yeah.
And essentially what VVA does is it optimizes the performance
of the engine
through the entire rev range.
Okay.
So it's very clever. You know what it does is it adjusts the valve timing to give you either
depending on
more low-end torque.
Yeah, what you need.
Yeah, or more top-end power. Yeah. So if you're in the city,
if you're just putting around town.
Yeah, and you need that low-end grunt to get you going.
Yeah.
The VVA is going to help you with that.
Okay, cool.
But then if you're on the open road and you want to, open it up and really let it sing, then the VVA is going to help you with that too.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And it also has a 6-speed transmission.
Yes, a 6-speed transmission.
With an assist and slipper clutch.
Which is great.
That's really nice.
That's a very nice feature to have, especially on a bike like this, because it's going to allow you to shift very smoothly.
Yeah.
And it's also going to help prevent that rear wheel lockup during aggressive downshifting.
Yeah.
So,
which is important for,
important for safety.
For safety, yes. Yeah. And just for overall performance of the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as far as power goes, what can we expect out of this?
Okay. So we're looking at around 18.4 PS of power.
Okay.
And 14.2 millimeters of torque.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
For a 155cc bike.
No. Especially with...
It's not going to blow the doors off.
Exactly.
But it's going to be fun.
It's going to be a fun bike to ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I've seen is that...
that it's rumored that they're going to have ride-by-wire technology.
Yes.
In this bike.
Which is a big deal.
Is that a big deal?
It is a big deal.
Okay.
It is a big deal because...
Explain why.
Okay, so ride-by-wire essentially means that the throttle is electronically controlled.
Okay.
So instead of having a cable that goes from your grip to the throttle body, you have sensors and actuators that are controlling that.
So it's all electronic.
It's all electronic.
Yeah.
So what that does is it allows for a much smoother throttle response.
Smoother throttle response.
Yeah, you're not going to get that kind of jerky, on-off feeling that you can sometimes get with a cable-operated throttle.
Okay.
So smoother throttle response. It also
makes sense.
Potentially allows for better fuel efficiency.
Okay.
Because the computer can more precisely control the amount of fuel.
The air-fuel mixture.
That's going into the engine.
Yeah.
But here's the really cool thing.
Okay.
It opens the door for more advanced rider aids.
Okay, like what?
So things like traction control, multiple riding modes.
Okay.
Things that you typically find on
higher-end bikes.
Much higher-end bikes.
Yeah.
So to have that potential in a bike in this segment,
that's pretty cool.
Is very exciting.
So are they bringing any of that technology down to this bike?
Well, that's what we're hoping to find out.
Okay.
As more information becomes available.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely something to look out for.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So it sounds like this bike's got the power.
Yeah.
And it's got the tech.
It does.
But how does it handle?
Well, it handles very well.
Okay.
As we mentioned, Yamaha is known for their Delta Box frame, which provides excellent rigidity and handling.
Yeah.
And they haven't disappointed with this bike.
Okay.
They've actually taken it a step further.
Okay.
And they've added upside-down front forks, which offer superior stability and feedback.
What does that mean, though?
So essentially what it means is that...
Like for someone that doesn't know motorcycles.
The forks are inverted.
Okay.
So the thicker part of the fork is at the top and the thinner part is at the bottom.
Okay.
And what that does is it reduces unspring weight and it also provides a more rigid platform.
So it makes the handling better.
It makes the handling much better.
Okay, cool. So you're going to feel that when you're cornering?
Especially during cornering, yes.
Okay.
You're gonna feel a lot more
planted.
Planted, yes.
Okay.
And more feedback from the front end.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then
wider tires as well?
Yeah. They've also added wider radial tires, which give you more grip.
Yeah,
so that's
for sure.
So yeah, so they've really upped the ante.
Yeah, they've really made it handle like it should.
Yes. Yeah.
So how about safety?
Safety is...
Are they making it safe for you while you're...
Safety is very important.
Doing all this?
Of course.
Yeah.
Especially with a sporty bike like this. So they have dual channel ABS, which is standard.
Okay. Which it should be.
As it should be on pretty much every motorcycle.
At this point,
these days.
Yeah.
But the big surprise is that they've included traction control.
What?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. So that's all. This is practically unheard of.
On a 150cc bike.
In this segment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it really shows that Yamaha is serious.
That's really cool.
About safety, and rider confidence, especially for newer riders. Yeah. So it's a very welcome addition.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we talked about this a little bit before, But it's also supposed to have multiple riding modes.
Yes, it is.
Like sport straight and rain.
That's correct.
And a full color TFT display.
Yes, with smartphone connectivity.
What?
Yeah.
It's getting ridiculous.
It is a little ridiculous.
For a 150cc bike.
But it's very cool.
It is very cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
And it just shows that, Yamaha is really trying to elevate.
Yeah, they're really stepping up their game.
This bike, you know, it's not just
they're not messing around.
Basic transportation. It's a connected, rider-focused experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about the performance.
Yeah.
We've talked about all this tech.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about how it handles the safety features.
Yes.
What about fuel efficiency?
That is an important one.
It is.
Especially
on a smaller bike.
Yeah. Yes, especially if this is going to be...
Especially with gas prices these days.
Yeah, exactly. So early estimates are suggesting that the R15 V5 could deliver somewhere around 45 to 50 kilometers.
Wow.
Which is very impressive.
That's really good.
Yes.
Especially for
a sport bike, yes. Yeah. And it makes it very practical for daily commutes.
Yeah. You could ride this thing every day.
You could absolutely ride this every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so last but not least.
Yes.
The MotoGP edition.
The MotoGP edition.
What do we know about this thing?
Okay, so details are pretty scarce at the moment. But what we can pretty much guarantee is that it's going to have a special livery inspired by Yamaha's.
They're racing bikes.
MotoGP racing bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the Monster Energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The
blue on the black.
Blue and the black.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to have a really cool livery. There's also a possibility that it could have some performance upgrades.
Like what?
So we might see
an upgraded exhaust system.
Yeah, we might see an upgraded exhaust.
Yeah.
We might see some carbon fiber bits.
Ooh.
Little things like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just to kind of set it apart from the standard model.
Yeah. And as far as price goes, is it going to be a lot more?
I'm sure it will be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
But
probably worth it.
But for the exclusivity and for
the looks alone,
the looks and the potential performance upgrades.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it would be worth it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
So this MotoGP edition it's
a brilliant move by Yamaha.
It is.
I mean, it's very clever.
Yeah.
Because what they're doing is they're adding a layer of prestige to this bike.
Yeah. And it's aspirational too.
It's very aspirational and it's very smart.
Yeah.
Because what they're doing is they're tapping into that emotional side of motorcycle ownership.
Yeah, for sure.
You're not just buying a motorcycle, you're
buying into a legacy.
Yes. You're buying into the
Yamaha racing.
The Yamaha racing legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So overall, I think this Yamaha R15 V5 is shaping up to be a really impressive machine.
Yeah. I mean, it's got the features, it's got the looks.
It's got everything.
It's got the performance, and it seems to be priced competitively. Yeah. So,
what are your final thoughts on this?
I think it's a glimpse into the future of the small capacity sport bike segment.
Okay.
I think Yamaha is raising the bar and forcing other manufacturers to step up their game.
For sure.
So
the competition better watch out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they better watch out.
So what do you guys think out there?
Yes.
What features do you think Yamaha should include in the MotoGP edition?
MotoGP edition.
Make it really special.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
Let us know.
Until next time.
Ride safe.
Ride safe.